given that there's also both of these teams like prioritizing that blue side, because again we've been seriously mentioning how much those home and away games are mattering in this specific matchup, because you get the 2 picks, and I feel like that is where RSG kind of lacked for like a little bit in like the second game, because there's not a lot of pool that they would want to prioritize. I mean, there's a lot of heroes that they could choose from, but with only 1 pick to set the pace in the game, there's a lot of answers coming in from the red side. Just shows how much prioritization comes into the draft.
So they will ban out the Esmeralda, and RSG will now think, do we ban out the Faramis or the Valentina? But honestly, I think BREN Esports will ban on their third ban the Diggy, all things considered, and then will open, because they know that it was the real reason why they lost game number 1. RSG, if they are studying BREN Esports right now, they should be seeing a trend that Paquito is the real hero for BREN Esports that they're focusing on. So I will not be surprised if that will be the man. Just let go of the Faramis and the Valentina. Let's play that kind of game. And
you really want to see that?
I want to see that, and I want to see Sona to cast that.
There's actually rumors over there, like the talent area, where the Faramis Valentina combo just gives you guys a lot of problems, but it's okay.
It's
right?
I think it's going to be Diggy for BREN Esports, and then RSG, it should be like a Paquito ban. If we're just following the trends of games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, also take note, this is Emon that's in for RSG Philippines.
Oh, they switched it up. Wow.
So it's Eman versus Super Marco. Super Marco faces a new enemy.
I just wanted to, I mean, hopefully we'll see it here on the camera to see if that is confirmed. But yeah, they put Emon in here. And so, you know, will that, again, going back to RSG Philippines, it's not so much the roster switch-ups that is either their success or the downfall here. It's just them needing to adjust to what the other teams are doing. And I feel like BREN Esports specifically is one of those teams that there he is. Okay, so, you know, this is the lineup, right? But again, from previous weeks, we've seen them struggle, right? So BREN Esports, they obviously like to play with a little bit of a certain, I feel like, finesse, certain style.
Yeah.
And that's what we see from Kyle TZ specifically. So how will this all develop for this game 3 as the last ban for RSG Philippines is going to be that Julian ban. They don't want that to go in the hands of few again.
Yep.
So Valentina and Faramis is open.
Oh no.
Man.
Here we go. Here we go, man.
So I should be prepared for this. If I were to guess, Valentina will be the priority for BREN Esports, as it is just natural. And if you're RSG, gonna have to snatch that Faramis. So it said, oh, they will pick up the Claude. I love this. This is even better. But RSG can pick up the Paquito this time. Nats can play it as well as Demon Kite. If you go Paquito, you take the Faramis or the Valentina with it. BREN Esports understanding that RSG will not be tempted into that fight where, or into that game where you pick both Valentina and Faramis.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. BREN Esports is also used to playing that Diggy and Faramis combo. So it might actually be a possibility, given that it's all on the table. And instead, the Masha is going to be picked here once again. It used to give RSG problems from game number 2. And this time around, it's going to be the Faramis. So there we go. The trend is being followed. 2 picks cleared up for RSG.
Well, Sona, have fun, because the next pick coming out from BREN is going to be...
You gotta know. You already know.
It's going to be the Valentina and one more here. So, again, you know, with this Masha pick coming up too, Masha, Faramis, if they want to utilize the Masha roam just like it was in the previous game from BREN, then again, you are the team setting the pace here, either disrupting the jungle or finding moments on the side lanes where you can. And with BREN Esports hovering over the Cho, not sure if they're going to lock this in or not just yet, but I mean, either way, that Way of the Dragon is going to be massive for them finding the setups. And there you go, like we mentioned, that is going to be the Cho locked in with the Valentina as well.
All right.
I still like the Paquito in this game. Because there is an immediate burst against this Claude for sure.
Yeah.
And with the Cho being picked, being snatched by BREN Esports, there's not a lot of Claude counters that you have from RSG. Maybe they can choose their jungler right now. like they can go back to Alabama. Honestly, it's not really that bad because it's decent against the Faramis kind of matchups.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Natalia
Ooh.
if they want.
Ooh,
But yeah, Paquito I think is the best choice.
Hold on.
I think that was a Karina.
That was a Karina indeed. So somewhat safe pick here coming from RSG. But honestly, I like the Cho pickup here. And the trend here for BREN Esports is whenever they get to use that Cho picked up in like the first phase of the picks, it usually goes into, you know, the jungle position. We've managed to see it before. And it is a possibility heading into this now because you want that Faramis to be placed out of proportion before he managed to use that Cult Altar. So it might be an opportunity or it might be a strategy for them to be able to execute unless they go south for this one and with the two remaining bans here. You've mentioned Paquita from a while ago.
Yep.
However, unfortunately, that is not going to be part of the equation anymore for BREN Esports as it is banned by RSG.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I wonder if you focus on those gold lane bans
Yeah,
now,
I think we should.
especially with Amon, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. There's already the Claude here. They're gonna take out the Brody. The 1-1 and the Beatrix are out.
There's a lot.
What's left, though, what we typically see is either Airthil or Carry. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if their last ban is going to be still towards the gold lane, as RSG Philippines' last ban is going to be the Ballman.
Yep. So you ban Irithel now, and Carry will not be such a hot pick. Or maybe you can go for a Clint ban, knowing that RSG always resolves to that kind of pick. And Irithel, they might be thinking that it's manageable since they have the Cho anyways, as well as the Valentina. But the Clint in the early stages, combined with like a Faramis and a Masha and a Karina that can go like fast build, and we missed that out. The Popple and Koopa, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So you pick your marksman now if you're RSG, so that you can conserve this Faramis pick, and as well as the Masha, because you're not revealing just yet what you think. And that's definitely Irithel. I think.
It is. It is
be,
actually
right?
Irithel, right? I think it is the Irithel pick coming here.
Right.
There you go on your screens. It's going to be used by MN once again, pairing up against the Claude late game scaling.
Because
right
I mean,
there.
you actually, like, the reason why Irithil is probably the best choice here is because, think about it, the two actions that's going to happen is Cult Altar, Cult Altar. You have Blazing Duet for BREN Esports to get that as low as possible in that AoE Blazing Duet. You need something in response to that. So RSG Philippines is like, hey, we need the Irithil because same concept, right? You're going to be able to do damage across the board with AoE, and also that heavy crossbow does hurt, right, at some point. So it's then becomes who does more damage to get the Cult Altars out, right? Who does that better? And right now, BREN Esports, the last two picks are going to go is if the Thamus and the Dyroth.
They don't want to give
Interesting.
any remaining expilators. They're forcing the Masha to be the expilator
wow.
now for RSG.
And this is a jungle Thamus.
Yeah. Oh, I think RSG can still pick up a mage this time.
Yeah.
Maybe a Sicilian or actually a Kagura. Because what you can do is to put the Faramis in the roam role
Yeah.
so that it will not have, like, you go flicker. You tuck yourself behind, way behind. But you kind of need a frontliner. So honestly, I think Ruby should be or the Franco, of course. We forgot how the hell do we forget this?
There's so much bans, and we forgot Franco, man. But it's fine because right now you're taking a look at the pick-off possibilities for the side of RSG. We know how Light manages to deal those fatal iron hooks to get them out of that hole that they've been stuck with in every single game that they've had from comeback after comeback. And right now it's RSG versus BREN taking things off for game number 3, man. Pretty good lineups from what we've seen from a while ago.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty curious to see how things are going to go.
Well, we're going to take a last look here at both teams' lineups as we get set up for game number 3. Again, a crucial game for both these teams, RSG Philippines and BREN Esports. But, you know, we are going back to the Faramis Valentina matchup here, where this really is going to determine that micro skill in terms of the team fights between both of these teams here, with a lot of history for both of them. But we're going to be landing into the land of Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 3.
So much tankiness and so much sustain from BREN Esports, and that's discounting the fact that they can snag the cult altar. In this game between Valentina and Faramis, you always have to look who makes the less valuable ultimate. Who pops the ultimate first? Maybe that could be the least valuable ultimate, but sometimes it can be useful if you're trying to be aggressive, but more importantly, all of the team fights will revolve around Aqua and Few.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, right? Because usually that's what you see. You see both of them trying to fake each other out, who's going to use it first, right?
Yeah.
But also, when that happens, it's what gold laners profit out of it, right? Who, out of the gold lane, is able to burst down that cult altar faster, right? That's what we're going to see here. Now, there's a very close Iron Hook coming out from Light, but that's the thing, right? You want to delay Super Marco as much as possible on this Claude because naturally it should be easier for Emon to scale up here, but already in the bottom side.
That's going to be a first blood coming in from the side of RSG. Good rotations leading down to that pick-off. And this is the pressure coming in from the Raiders, making sure that they will be the ones to set the pace this time around.
Wonderful read coming out from RSG. They know that Pandora's old flicker was already forced before that fight happened. So when Demon Kite actually went into the bottom lane, it was a clean kill, knowing that there will be no other ways for Pandora to escape that. And this is a massive power spike from RSG because now they can work around the first turtle area with a lot more firepower in them, knowing that Pandora will not be as strong as Nats.
Yup, and Nats here got off to at least 80% of their health, but so far it's BREN Esports and RSG trying to position themselves onto this turtle take where Kyle, TC, and the rest of the gang are already here and they're surrounding RSG. Will they be able to do something about it? There comes the cult altar right over here and it's expiring slowly, but surely, and that's gonna be Nats being taken out. No, it's Kyle, TC actually, so it is a free lord or free country for the rest of the members of RSG, taking down not one, but two, maybe three, as Pandora gets the one of his own and he will be able to stay alive unless Light does something else about it. And no, before everything just happened, it's absolutely fine because they managed to take 3 kills of their own. Talking about RSG.
Oh, great for RSG for sure. Unfortunately, they're not able to convert it. Because of the fact that Kyle TZ was the one eliminated earlier, he responds faster, which means that he is now first to the turtle fight. There's nothing that RSG can do about this, as Oakland already have zoned them out. Perfect execution coming out from BREN Esports and the recovery as well. And we are now back to an even game.
Yeah, I think, you know, the little lead there that Navs had, even though he was able to grab those 2 assists too from that previous team fight, now it's even Steven back in the bottom lane. So already here now the focus on the top side. Light's going to take quite a bit of damage, no commitment just yet. And Ogwin being very patient, holding on to that Way of the Dragon, because now at this point, you know, you're level 5 Cho, and you have a very crucial ultimate available to you. You either have the flicker or you don't. You can still make those plays, whereas I feel like, you know, Light, you're always trying to land those hooks, and if you can't, then it's kind of, you kind of fall off. You do have Bloody Hunt, but, you know, if you don't have Flicker, it's a little bit tougher, whereas Ogwin should be able to find angles a lot easier. But already, you can see, the one thing that will kill BREN Esports here is hesitation if it continues on, as they can't find the moments they're looking for just yet.
Yep, they're still somewhat trying to figure out what they can do with this lineup that goes in and goes out, and it is just, you know, a little bit disturbing for RSG as now another hook is there. The consistent and constant pressure that the rest of the members of the Raiders are giving here to the side of BREN is just limiting their way to actually try and pull things off, as Aqua will be using that skill to be able to get away fast and smoothly. BREN still slowly but surely paving the way for that pickoffs as the turtle is about to spawn.
As the game progresses, they are going to be happier, definitely, because of the fact that they are funneling everything into Super Marco, this Claude.
Yep.
Untouched so far. Doesn't have any assists or kills, but the fact that he does have the avarice and he's staying up top, getting all of the farm, is now going to be moving towards the mid lane and then going to the top lane. Again, another double laning strategy coming up from all of these Claude players for maximum amount of impact in the early stages.
That Iron Hook, though, won't be able to hit. Instead, it's the Way of Dragon, making sure that it will manage to hit. But so far, Cold Altar has been used here by both of the teams, unless they will do something else about it. Eman, though, from the backside. Ogwen catching a little bit of damage, but he will be able to stay alive even without the blue in his HP. And Pandora from the backside, making sure that he will hit. But he dodged it. He specifically wanted to go the other way, and instead the Paramis will go down. Super Marco got out to 10% of his health, but the joke is happening here. Fio making the same play. My, oh my, it's Kyle Teasy and the rest of the members in remaining, and they were able to turn things around. Kyle Teasy and Pandora say bye-bye. RSG managed to take it all, and it's still 2 heroes because Demon Kite and Nats went down the same way.
So much jukes happened in that game. I love the fact that Eman, instead of going to the left, which he already conditioned Pandora he will go to, it was a head and shoulder fake that we saw from that. He went to the right side instead, and the flicker coming out from Pandora was wasted. But that wasn't the only juke that happened. You saw that from Super Marco and Few all together. Nats, his own sprint was wasted because of that. And arguably, this went in favor of BREN Esports because now Super Marco is at 4K. And he even gets a kill up top.
Another kill being taken here, man. Now BREN managed to turn the tides around.
This is massive for BREN Esports because, again, First Blood was given up. You know, Pandora died, and now he's just back in full force here on this Dairoth. And he doesn't even need that many items. You already see how much damage he's able to do with the toolkit for this Dairoth, right? Even the Abysm Strike hurts like crazy, and that's something that RSG Philippines has to deal with here. Now, I mean, at this point, 30 seconds, next turtle is going to be up. Both teams have 1 for 1. They're going to look for a pick.
Ooh, a pick is about to happen here, and that goes with the Way of the Dragon hitting, but it is actually Ogwen going down. Gold Altar being used here, utilized at the same time, but there goes Super Marco. It is stopped. Pause for a minute, my boy, as it is the clock going down in replacement of Light, but it is still Pandora fighting with the rest of the members of RSG, but for not because RSG managed to turn things around. Double kill for the Raiders.
Okay, so big pickup for RSG Philippines. They're going to get a turret, then they can go to the turtle. Funny thing, Naz literally just running down to the bottom. He's like, hey, you guys are good? All right. Looks good. Let's go.
Good job. Good job.
Well done.
You have to hand it to Aqua, reserving his ultimate in the right moment. And not only that, they were able to punish Super Marco because when Super Marco went in, Aqua still had this pullback with his skills that he was able to lock down Super Marco afterwards. And then, of course, Demon Kite dealing the damage in there, already able to pop all of his reflection damage. And then, of course, the burst is there. Eman popping the sprint in the right moment as well when Pandora went in for the Earthquake. It was very fast with the Electro Flash as well as the sprint. And RSG is able to zap in and out of the fight.
Oh, man. They're actually looking for another one here.
Another one bites the dust here for the rest of the members here because Light is the one that's chosen. He's the chosen one, but not for long because the Cold Altar carbon copy for each and every one has been utilized here. However, it is RSG still managed to take the kill. Blazing Duet's going to be committed here, but not for long because Few's been pulled out, and it is the rest of the members of Demon Kai here trying to figure things out onto the backside, and they are simply being aggressive right now. 4 heroes are down for BREN, and it is just Super Marco fighting for his dear life. It's RSG listing it all down.
See, this is the crazy thing, right? RSG Philippines, the reason why this is working so well, again, going back to the fact that there's going to be 2 Cold Altars, and you're relying on the gold laners to pump out as much damage AoE as you can. When Light finds the targets with the Bloody Hunt or a hook and stops Super Marco from actually utilizing the Blazing Duet, they get a huge advantage. But that time, they actually just took out Pandora before the fight even started.
You can see that there were 3 kicks that happened, 3 waves of the dragon, or wave the dragons being popped, all onto Light. Those were the initiations of BREN Esports. And if you're thinking about it, I mean, sometimes it's okay to like initiate on the rover, but in this particular game, Light doesn't even care. If he gets jumped on, there will be Aqua to use the sprint and then pop the ultimate, and then you're okay. You waste your ultimate on a hero that likes to be kicked anyways, because now with the displacement, he can bite on anyone.
Yeah.
Easily. It's like a free flicker at this point.
It would be Light's pleasure at this point to get a hold or get close. Here, taking a look at 13-7 in terms of kills, and the pressure is still right there The Lord, even though not luminous just yet, is still at the hands or is still at the placement of the others.
And right now, we can see RSG Philippines just doing the push and pull game. They might actually just take this one for free unless BREN Esports actually wants to contest this one. The Lord now for the taking.
Nats right over here trying to tackle the rest of the damage in, but it is actually Kyle Teasy onto the ground of it all, and he will actually be the one going down first. The rest of the members here from RSG says, go, 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 my boy. It's time to square up, but they will not be ready to handle the fight just yet, as 3 heroes are actually down and they want more, as it is Few going down next. Triple kill for Eman, and he is the man of the moment at this point. It's RSG taking the Lord for themselves.
And RSG have found the right opening once again. It is because they really just pummeled BREN Esports in there. They quickly made work of Kyle Teasy even after Kyle Teasy popped the Caught Earth Inferno. And it happened so fast that BREN Esports, even with few in there, snagging the Cult Altar, it wasn't enough. He wasn't able to pop his Cult Altar in time for the rest of for being able to save the Thams.
Yeah.
And that actually was a big mistake coming up from BREN Esports. It's maybe because of the fact that Ako wasn't there yet. So he hasn't found like the usage of the ultimate just yet, but everything went in favor of RSG just because of the fact that they were able to take out the jungler immediately.
Again, this is the scary point that I'm talking about here with Emon, right? Even just on an Irithyll, you have that ultimate, that heavy crossbow, and with the Berserker's Fury alone, you are doing tons of damage, and now their eyes are on the prize here in the mid lane.
Man, you can't spell damage without damn, but the selection is already right over there. Caught Earth Inferno is going to be used for the Cold Altar, but who will be the ones to actually stay alive? Eman, though, with a sliver of health, is still fighting, but not for long, as Nats catching the attention of the rest of the members in, but few will go down the same way. Ogwen, Pandora, and Kyle Teasy is right over here to save the day. Super Marco just onto the top side, trying to defend their turrets in, but Pandora taking a little bit more of the damage that RSG has to offer. Good defense here coming from BREN Esports, trying or managing to keep them all alive, but only for just 1 minute.
They managed to find the kick that they were looking for, and Eman is already shut down by BREN Esports. Finally, for the longest time, we've seen Ogwen just initiate onto Light. Like I said, not the right target to go for. And even through the Cult Altar, they had enough damage because it's just very natural. And if they do find kicks like that, this game is more manageable for BREN Esports.
Yeah, I think that's a huge amount of responsibility on Ogwen, right? To find the right targets to use that Way of the Dragon on. And specifically, as much as possible, you want it to be Emon, but he has been doing a great job at avoiding that until recently, right? Where that play was just made. But even then, you saw how long he was able to survive with that Wind of Nature, plus the backup from the team. So at this point still, I mean, they do have a 5K gold lead, but if BREN Esports can buy some more time, they allow Super Marco to get the items that he needs to complete this build on the quad at the same time, then that is going to be a big advantage for them. Plus, again, it always goes down to those micro skill decisions between the Faramis and the Valentina. Who is going to pop the Cult Altar first? Because now, in just a couple seconds, the next Lord of the game has come up. And we already see there's a tension being made on both sides of the map, right? Trying to push those waves in. Objectively, RSG Philippines still has that space advantage. Look at that bush. The setup is coming.
Ogwen has been chosen here at the same time. And that roamer is Gonzo, or the rest of the members of RSG now willing to take the fight for themselves. Kaltizi though, and Super Marco using that place to do it for himself, but will he be able to stay alive from the backside, making a mega kill for the Faramis. Pandora's out of the box at the same way, and Kyle Teasy, the only one left to stay. Few, where are you, my guy? It's Kyle Teasy being chased by 3 members of RSG, and they're raining on the Hive's parade, making a double kill for the guy, as BREN Esports, Few the only one alive, and RSG planning to take the Lord now.
There was one...
Lord.
Of course. There was once a time where we call RSG as Task Force RSG just because of their operations that they're doing, their corporate operations, and that's definitely one way for them to win the fights. They stayed up top lane, and that was a very nice push to play around with. when there is a Lord timing, because you rarely check that. Oldwin actually checked that. The right hero to check that bush. Afterwards, though, the real blunder from BREN Esports was when they tried to go for Eman after the Cult Altar was already popped. Wind of Nature was still available for Eman. That's why they countered this Claude, and through the magic damage coming out from Aqua. This is not just a support. He has he's Lightning Truncheon as well as the Clock of Destiny. He can pack up a punch, and you saw how he was able to melt through Super Marco. And I think Super Marco also was kind of late with this Wind of Nature pop. When he first jumped onto Eman, Eman can easily attack with just the nature of the hero. He can attack while moving, and when it was a fraction of a second late, when he popped his Wind of Nature, already he was put solo by Eman, and that was Aqua who finished the kill afterwards.
Well, right now, here we go. They already get the bottom and top turrets are down. They're probably going to lose the mid one as well. Lord still needs to be worked on, but RSG Philippines looking to get into the base of BREN.
They're going. And right now, Kaltisi onto the front lines. Will he be able to do something about it? Light, though, is going to be chunked down, and so will the Lord. And right now, it's going to be another hook. Crucial coming in from the side of RSG, and that is going to be the Valentina being taken out. The veteran view is out, and it's the rest of the youngsters coming in, hopefully trying to defend the base, and they might just be able to do it. And now they're locking it in. They might be able to finish the game, but hold on, Winter Dirge is going to be used by Demon Kite, and he will be able to escape. And it's RSG covering it all. No minions, and it might just be the end, but they're not letting Super Marco go, and it's RSG taking the win.